Welcome back everyone to another video. We have again lots of information to get through today, so without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously you can see here already we have a new Starfield update. The one that was in beta has now been officially released. This provides for PC users at the very least DLSS, super DLSS resolution, deep learning, anti-aliasing. Now already people have started complaining that they want DLAA for this instead of DLSS. I mean, people are never happy, right? At the end of the day, you can give them everything they want and they will still be unhappy because it is Starfield. They just cannot be happy at all. But anyway, you've got NVIDIA Reflex and DLSS frame generation as well, which is really nice. And I've already heard from a lot of people outside of the naysayers that this has actually helped PC performance a lot for those that are on NVIDIA. I mean, people are already citing that this update is too late. They were happy to, the same people were happy to wait 2 years for Cyberpunk to fix the broken mess that it was. But waiting for 6 weeks for this is too late? I mean, come on. I mean, that clearly shows you how much hatred there is to this game. And honestly, the only reason people hate this isn't because of the loading, isn't because of, the story. It is because it is exclusive to Xbox and it is not on the piece of plastic PlayStation. That is it. That is why they hate this game. Whether it's Red or the average pony, that is the reason. I mean, the publications hate this game because it's not on PlayStation. We already know that. It's obvious for the fact that it's on that. And this is why this game was never going to get a Game of the Year vote, because at the end of the day, the people who gave this games the 4s and the 5s are the same people who are voting for the Game of the Year category. I mean, was there really ever a chance this game would succeed in Game of the Year or getting any real award or nomination? No, I didn't think so either. Not when the panel were the ones that were already shitting on the game in the first place. But I digress. We've also got the ability to eat food placed in the world. Now, people are again complaining, oh, but the food that you eat only gives you 0.5%. The whole point of the food system in this game is for you to cook recipes so you can actually make food that can actually heal you better. But instead of you hoarding that food, you can actually just pick it up and eat it and move on. Even if it is a 0.5%, a 0.5% is better than 0. You don't have to go into your menu to start eating that food one by one. You could just eat it as you're going along. You've got the improved appearance of the eyes on the crowds, so no longer are they looking at you like this, but they're actually looking at you properly, which is a big change. And I'm guessing they actually maybe have, I don't know, they may have collaborated with the modding community or not. I mean, they're smart enough to know what they're doing. But there was a mod for this already that actually fixed it. But it does actually look really, really nice. Brightness, contrast, and HDR settings have been added. And of course, stability and performance improvements. That goes with the whole DLSS stuff along the way. So really good stuff, even though people are already crying and basically downplaying this update already. And there's more updates coming. You know what? This game has had, what, two updates, I think? All in all, since release. You've got Alan Wake, which is arguably one of my Game of the Years, which has had 8 updates in 2 weeks. You've had Baldur's Gate, which has had, I think, a record amount of updates, patches since its release. You've had Spider-Man, which has had a metric ton of updates since its release. This one has had, like, what, 2? And people are already saying it's too late. I don't get it. I really don't. This one here is pretty cool. Jeff Grubb is basically saying that Sony is wanting to be done with it. And this comes from PlayStation. So he's actually getting his source directly from someone within PlayStation. But apparently, as far as Sony are concerned, this project has been a complete nightmare. It's been development hell, and they just are done with it, and they just want to just put it away and never look at it again. They don't want it anymore. Now, at the end of the day, as you can see here, update, KOTOR remake, Jeff Grubb says Sony is wanting to be done with it. My stuff comes from PlayStation. It feels like it cannot happen without a partner like Sony. Sony seems to be out with funding pulled. To me, it's definitely done and no reason for anyone to be working on it. But of course, this is when Microsoft can step in. Again, in my previous video, we spoke about how Microsoft had big announcements on for the Game Awards. Maybe they're going to announce Knights of the Old Republic coming exclusively for the Xbox. After all, the original Knights of the Old Republic was exclusive to the Xbox platform. This would actually be a welcome return to the Xbox. This is the sort of big game that they need to bring to the consoles to sell those consoles. We already know that the consoles are at the moment, not just at Best Buy, but also at Target, selling extremely well. In fact, the Series X is actually outselling the Nintendo Switch at Target, and is nicely positioned at number 2, slowly making its way to the number 1 selling console within the stores and online. So that's actually really, really impressive. The Black Friday deals that Microsoft has put in place have clearly been successful. They've done their job and they are doing phenomenally well. Of course, we've got the holiday season coming along. We've got the Thanksgiving season coming along. So more sales, more great stuff, more promotions. We'll continue to sell the consoles. But on December the 7th, if they turn around and announce Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars is going to be Xbox exclusive coming 2025, I think that's going to start shifting consoles immediately from Christmas, because that is the type of big games that they want. Of course, we do want to see the other titles like the Gears of Wars and maybe a new Halo announcement. But, we want big third-party titles like Knights of the Old Republic to be landing on Xbox, because they need those exclusive third parties to differentiate them from the crowd. They have the money, they have the capability, they don't have to go and buy a studio in order to make this happen. Just like Sony is going out and buying exclusive third-party deals like Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Silent Hill. The fact is, Microsoft should be going out right now and doing the same. It may be costing them a lot more in order to get these deals, but that's how you're going to shift the consoles. I know they're focusing on making sure that the actual Game Pass is the platform, but the reality is they also want to make sure that they're shifting enough consoles to make sure that publishers want to get those games onto the Xbox platform. And this is a surefire way of doing that. And as I was just saying, if we're looking at this, I'm peeking at retailers early, and Series X is popular at Target too, says John Welfare. Series X jumped to number 2 above both Switch SKUs, with PlayStation being the only one that's ahead. These rankings aren't day to day from what I've noticed over the months, but a much longer time frame that I'm not sure on. So this is a big jump. So what this is essentially saying is, this isn't like updated, okay, on this day, this is how it fared with the sales. Then on this day, it's like it resetting every day. This is like a continuous period. So these are like updated periodically. And the Series X, in terms of platform, has maintained a solid performance and has now pushed its way with these sales to number 2 and is on its way to make itself to, again, just like Best Buy, at Target as a number 1 purchase. So this is really, really good for Microsoft. They're definitely doing something right with their promotions for Diablo 4. I mean, they're bundling with Call of Duty and other games as well. They're trying to utilize their Activision Blizzard license, branding, name to push their console, and this is what they should be doing in order to try and get that market share back. It's going to take a while. It's not going to get done overnight, but it's good to see that they're actually making an effort to claw back some of that. And hopefully over the next year or two, once we start getting the big games like Avowed, Hellblade 2, Fable, and so forth, Gear 6, Halo Infinite 2, or whatever it's going to be called, we'll start to see some really big movements within that category. But also we want to see like the third-party games that probably won't be on Game Pass that will also help shift that console, because they're going to be exclusive to the Xbox platform, that won't be available on PC, won't be available on PlayStation. It will only be available to play those games on Xbox, and that is how you're going to sell Xbox consoles. Finally, I want to talk about this. A Nier Automata is seemingly coming, but not anytime soon. I haven't clicked on the article, but going down, someone done me a favor and basically told me that Nier Automata 2 is coming out. And as we can see here, it says, where is it? I don't know if it's 10 years away. I just need more. There's no indication of when it's coming, but when the ending to Nier Automata happened, it left it open-ended and it didn't really finish. So it'd be nice to finally finish that story. But to me, this is arguably one of my favorite games of all time, alongside Alan Wake. This is phenomenal. If you haven't played the Nier Automata games, The original Nier was really different. I know they remastered it to kind of incorporate some of the combat and stuff from Nier Automata to make it more modern, kind of acceptable. But Nier Automata was phenomenal. The actual characters 2B and 9S were amazing. The story was great. The combat was great. The landscape was great. The setting was great. Everything about this game was just brilliant. It was one of the best games. And a skill up at the time said, this is one of the best games you'll never play. Because it was such a niche game at the time. No one really knew about it. No one really spoke about it. If you followed Yoko and the games that he made, you would have been aware of this. And obviously you would have dived into it. But for those that didn't, you wasn't really aware of it. But this game is phenomenal. If there's ever a game that I could recommend you play, it would be Nier Automata. It is available on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. Definitely go try it out. I'm really happy to see that a sequel's coming. Well, there's no confirmation of whether this is going to be exclusive or not. Yoko, from what I remember, doesn't really like doing exclusives when it comes to these games. So there was a timed, I think, exclusive. I can't remember with PlayStation. But hopefully that won't be the case this time. And if there is any semblance or notion that this could be a timed exclusive, Microsoft should definitely step in and pick that up first, because this is going to be huge. The amount of people that love Nier Automata is phenomenal. It has such a huge backing, such a huge crowd, such a huge fan base, especially with 2B, as you can see. So honestly, this would be a huge, huge get for Microsoft. But at the end of the day, I'm perfectly happy for this to remain third party and it release on all platforms, and then you can just buy it on the platform of your choice and enjoy it. Right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, it really helps the channel grow. It really helps the video grow. My goal is to get to 50,000 subs overall. I really would like that plaque, the bronze plaque. Once we hit that, then the true goal will be 100,000 subs to get that silver plaque from YouTube. That is my overall, ambition. That is my target. So if we could get there, that would be amazing. Obviously, the journey is long to get there. So if you do enjoy the content or do want to support what I do consider leaving a like and a subscribe. It helps. Don't forget, you can support me further through my YouTube membership starting at £1, or through my Patreon, links in the description below. Or if you really enjoy the content, you can click on that super thanks and leave a message, and I will reply to it the first chance I get. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.